You're tuned into Life is a Sacred Journey. Every week, we bring a new perspective to aging and caregiving. Here is your host, Micheal Pope.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the virtual neighborhood of Life is a Sacred Journey. It is my honor to be with you this morning. Micheal Pope is my name. I'm your host or hostess, however you want to look at it, non-gendering it. I am the facilitator of the morning. Life is a Sacred Journey. We come on every Friday at 8 a.m. here on Zoom and on other platforms. Wherever you reach us, we thank you for always being with us and showing up bright and shiny and new. So get a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a glass of water, or some juice, and come on in here and let's get started this morning. I want to have a special shout out to all of the folks, all the women in the world, and it's Women's History Month Day, something I'm not really sure, but I know it's a time of celebration. So women should be applauded. All humanity should be applauded, but it's a wonderful opportunity for us to give notice. Just like when we say Black Lives Matter, we're not saying that all lives don't matter. We're just saying we need to focus there because there's a lot of things that are not good in that area. So hit the share button. Pick up the phone, tell somebody about this. We're going to have a great conversation with Olivier Mankondo, and he is an author. He also is someone who has gone through a physical health journey. I'm going to start admitting him in here now. He's been through a health journey. You know, as many of you know, we all go through health journeys in our life, and we try really hard to make sure that as we age in place, we're looking at all kinds of things. And so Olivier, I had to look it up. You know, I asked somebody earlier, I'm like, how do you think he pronounces his name? I don't want to mess it up. And so I was so excited. I went online and I listened to another interview, and the lady said, Olivier. I said, I got it. So, I really am so excited to have him here on Life is a Sacred Journey with us this morning. One, because life as we age, we're always looking at how we feel, and this is a wonderful time as we move into aging. I know I'm feeling my best, but how do we keep ourselves, feeling good and motivated? Because if the body's jacked up, the brain is jacked up, I know that. And the other thing is, if you're a caregiver, taking care of your body under stressful situations is very important because it has a lot to do with your immune system. So Olivier Mankondo has really taken his life, used his own life experience in his book. Go to his website. We'll talk more about that. But caregivers, I want you to know you matter. And if you don't take care of yourself, there won't be anybody left to care for the person that you're caring for. So you have to take time to take care of your health. And plant-based diets, vegan diets, I don't know the difference. I'm going to ask him because I don't know. Okay, I know pescatarian and all that, but I don't know because we use all these terms, right? So welcome, Olivier Mankondo, to Life is a Sacred Journey. We are excited to have you in the virtual neighborhood and the virtual community and at the hearth of Life is a Sacred Journey. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to get started with vocabulary because I think that's where a lot of people get confused. So vegetarian, vegan, plant-based, are they the same?
No, they are different.
Okay.
They are different in the sense that when you talk about vegetarians, it's people who don't eat animal products, but they still continue to eat dairy product. Oh. When you look at vegans, they don't eat animal product, they don't eat dairy product. And when you look now at plant-based, they mostly eat whole food and they try to stay away from processed food. But when you look at vegans, a lot of vegans, they eat a lot of processed food. Vegan processed food, for example, they can drink Coca-Cola, they can have Oreos, they can have all these Beyond Meat and all these things. But when you are plant-based, you try to stay away from this food. So plant-based is mostly whole food. Vegans, they can eat as well whole food, but a lot of vegans, they like to eat vegan processed food, which is not good as well.
Because anything that is processed, it changes the molecular structure of the food, and where therefore changes like what it does for you. Is that right?
Yes, because when you look at the processed food, they've got things like they put preservative, coloring, flavoring, and all these things are chemical substances not recognized by the body, and they create havoc. So when you eat all this food, it's very, very bad. And when you look, for example, as a race, 51% of what we eat is processed food, 42% are animal product, and only 7% are fruit and vegetables. And in those 7%, the majority eat potatoes to make French fries. So we eat very, very little of fresh produce. But what people need to understand that is the plant-based food are what is being designed for the human mechanism. That's what we need to eat. And for people who are Christians, if you look in the Bible, in Genesis 1:29, it says that God gave us fruit and vegetables. He didn't say meat. He didn't say chicken. He didn't say processed food. He said fruit and vegetables. And when you start eating this food, you're not going to have any problems, just like me. For example, when people look at me, for the past 7 years, since I've transitioned to a plant-based nutrition, I've not been sick a single day.
Wow.
And all my chronic diseases went away because I was suffering from high blood pressure. I had massive headaches every day or every other day. And in fact, I had to have some painkillers in my wallet all the time because of that. I had dandruffs, chest pain, back pain, abscesses, joint pain, and I have lots of dental problems. And for example, every 2 to 3 months, I had to go and see the dentist. And at that time, my weight was 220 pounds. And when I transitioned to a plant-based nutrition, I was able to lose 77 pounds. All my chronic diseases went away. And like I've just said, I've not been sick a single day for the past 7 years.
Wow.
And I've been able as well to slow down my aging process, because most people, when they look at me, they think that I'm in my late 20s, but I'm actually 53.
All right.
So,
all right. Yeah. There you go. Well, but when you initially realized that your body was telling you, we need to change, this is when you were coming out of it, when you were, because you got sick. And so when was it the sickness that made you realize, wait a minute, we need to stop and take a good look at this? And did you just become a vegan right away, or was it a process?
No, so what happened is that I didn't
plant-based. I'm sorry.
Yeah, plant-based. Yes. No, I'm also vegan in the sense that I don't eat animal product, dairy product, and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happened is that one day I was just watching a program on YouTube, and there's an Indian yogi who said that eating animal product was not designed for the human mechanism. And because at that time I was already sick, I was not well, I said to myself, let me try it. Let me try it and stuff. So it was a certain Wednesday that I was watching that program. And then on Thursday, when I came back from work, I had my last meal of meat. And on Friday, I went cold turkey. So I didn't go process. I didn't go through a process. I went cold turkey. And it was very difficult in the sense that for the first week, I had loads of detox symptoms. I had more headaches. So for the next 3 days, I had massive headaches that I've never had in my entire life. I had more cold sore, more abscesses. My joint even ached more. And what people need to understand is that when you change your way of eating, your body goes through that detox period where it tries to get rid of all this toxin, and it will dump that in the bloodstream. And that's why people will feel not well. And usually people will say, no, this is not right. I don't have to go vegan, or I don't have to go plant-based. I need to stop. But that's how the body detox. And after a week, my body was well. I lost 11 pounds on the first week. And then after that, I'm starting to have lots of energy. I'm starting to feel better. And that's how it went.
A lot of people are looking at these juicing detox diets, or, these kinds of things. And, it's not just one thing, right? Because the other side of it is there's a mentality around food and, you know, eating it and all of that. And so when I was looking at your stuff, you're doing balanced stuff. You're not choosing just one, you know, thing, because you get bored with that. And then when you get bored with it, you go back to your old habits really quickly, right?
Yeah.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah, so it's a lot of things that I do at the same time. First of all, is the mindset, because the mindset is very, very important. Because whatever you want to do in your life, if you don't put your intention, you don't know your why, it's not going to work. And people need to understand why they're doing it, because it's not easy at the beginning. But if you know that I'm doing this because I want to get healthy, I want to lose this amount of extra pound, and you stick to it, then things will become easier. And especially when at the beginning you start saying to yourself that it's going to be difficult, you're not going to be able to do it. If you start saying that, you're not going to be able to do it. Because when I started, I didn't ask myself, what am I going to eat? Is it going to be difficult? I just said, that's what I have to do, and I'm going to stick to it. So that's the first thing. And then you look at your nutrition. So you eat a plant-based nutrition where you eat fruit, vegetables, legumes, grain, nuts, and seeds. And because all these have got packed with a lot of vitamins, packed with a lot of nutrients, so your body will be able to extract a lot of nutrients and not a lot of vitamins. And because of all the fibers, all of the fiber in this plant-based food, you're going to feel full quicker, and you're not going to want to eat quickly. Mm-hmm. And then you have to add exercise. And when I say exercise, I don't necessarily mean that people need to join a gym. For example, what I mean by exercise is just to be in movement. You need to move, you need to walk, just simple things like that. And as well, you need to rest, because rest is very important. And what I've noticed is that when you start eating the right food, usually your sleep quota diminished, because you're not polluting your body, and your sleep requirement will go down. So you need to put all these things together to have optimal health.
Can you cheat every once in a while and have some ice cream and things like that, or is this like a forever no?
No. See, yes, sometimes I have some vegan ice cream. Obviously, it's not with dairy product, but right. I will have sometimes some vegan ice cream or some vegan chocolate. Yes, because I don't want to be dogmatic. You don't have to be dogmatic. Yes, you can eat these things, but it needs to be like a treat. It's not something that you have to eat every single day. No, that's right. Not what you have to do. But yes, sometimes I eat these things. Yeah, definitely.
I know every once in a while I get a flavor for chocolate, you know, but I realized the other day at a store that we have called Trader Joe's here in the Bay Area, they have a whole bunch of vegan chocolate and all kinds of things. So it's just, you know, you have to open your perspective to what's available. I learned that. But, you know, for a lot of communities, making that switch seems financially, you know, it costs money to eat organic foods if you don't grow it yourself or things like that. What is your take on that and your advice on that?
Yeah, my advice is that your health is your wealth. So people need to be able to prioritize, because I've noticed that a lot of people, when you tell them that you need to start eating the right food, you need to eat organic, they will say, no, it's too expensive. But people are able to find the money to buy an iPhone, which will cost maybe $1,500, or to have a good, a nice TV, a flat TV. They can buy all these things. They can have loans for cars, and they will do all kinds of stuff to please themselves. But when it comes to food, for their health, it becomes suddenly too expensive. So people need to now look at the priorities. This is mostly important, because even if you've got all these things, you've got a nice car, you've got a nice iPhone, but if your health is not good, these things will be worthless. That's what people need to understand.
This is my residual from COVID. My immune system was strong, and I had one moment of weakness, and COVID came and attacked me. Yeah. And then I had to now cleanse with mucus. is one thing that I realize every time I go through a cleanse and I go off of my regime and then I have to detox and come back. I realize that also that our bodies store up a lot of mucus and then it dispels it when we are fasting, because I as a spiritual person I do fast and plant little bit of vegan. But why does that happen? Is that also the body because mucus is not good, but it's to get rid of it, right? That's what's happening when you're detoxing and changing your way of eating.
Exactly. And that's why, for example, for me, I find it very, very bizarre. The fact that, for example, when you have a cough or you have a cold, what people will do, they will go and buy medication to stop that. Yeah. It is wrong. What you have to do, what is your body is trying to do is to get rid of all this toxin, all this dirty stuff that you've accumulated for years and years. So when you take a medication, the medication stop that process, and all that your body was trying to get rid of will stay buried in your tissues, and you will become sicker and sicker and sicker. So what people need to understand is that when you've got all this mucus, you need to help the body to get rid of all these things. And that's why, for example, for me, for the past 8 years, I've not taken a single pill. Not a single pill. Because when you're not feeling well, your body basically is trying to get rid of all these toxins. For example, if you've got diarrhea, you don't have to stop that. You have to let the body get rid of all these toxins. You've got a cold, you need to let the body get rid. That's how you get rid of all these toxins. And if you let you get out of the way of the body, maybe it's going to take a week at the most, or 2 weeks at the most. And after that, you'll feel better. That's what people need to do. So yes, that the mucus is a way of for the body to get rid of all these toxins.
And people used to, I love history, Olivier, and I go back and I look and I saw that people used to steam themselves a lot more. Like, people walked, because we didn't have the ability, not everybody owned a car, or if you go further back, you were carrying things on your cart. So you were pushing it. And so people were more physical. They had to walk miles to go. And so the part of our life now that makes everything so comfortable and wonderful, we must reevaluate that in some ways and say, some of that has made us who we are, right? Some of that, well, actually all of it has made us who we are, and it's affected our life expectancy as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Because if you look, for example, in the villages, you will see that people live longer. Yes. Even if maybe they are 80, 90, they can still carry stuff on their head and stuff like that because they are physical, they move their body around, and that's good. But now in the society, in the Western society, people tend to be a little bit lazy. They don't want to move. For example, even to go to the supermarket, they need to do that over the internet. They get stuff delivered. And this is very, very bad. Yeah. It's not good. You need to be moving. And this is very, very important, because when you look at our system, the way that the system works, we need to be moving so that we can get rid of all this toxin and all that. So it's very, very important to get the body moving.
So so you don't take any supplements? Your all of your minerals and nutrition comes from not just because it's miraculous, the plants that are available to us. So let me rephrase that. But do you take supplements along with your diet?
No, I don't. Personally, I don't believe in supplements, because I think that you cannot improve on nature. If I want to get all my vitamins, my nutrient, I take that from the plants, and I make sure that I eat organic food. And I think that's where you can get all the nutrient. Because for me, when something goes to the laboratory, when it's chemically done, for me, the body doesn't recognize that anymore.
Okay.
So for me, I don't take any supplement. If I with the way I'm eating, with the plant-based, I'm feeling very good. There's no problem at all. So I don't see why I need to take all these supplements. No, I don't take any supplements.
Do you, for some people, particularly, I'm going to speak as, as a woman that's aging in place. I know that, when you going through menopause or on the opposite side, your mineral, iron, things like that. So how does one determine what foods have all of those things in it? I mean, is there a book that has, or how do you determine when you're looking at all this beautiful vegetables and fruit, which to purchase?
Yeah, for me, I go like this. For example, because I like to take the example of the gorillas or the chimpanzees in the forest. When they eat, they don't ask themselves, is this fruit has got these minerals or this fruit has got this nutrient? No, they just eat the food specifically designed for the species. And that's what, as a human being, we need to do. If you make sure that you eat fruit, vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and seed, all your nutrients, all your vitamins, all your minerals requirement will be met. You don't necessarily have to know that, I need to eat maybe broccoli because broccoli has got this. I need to eat carrot because carrot has got this. No, eat all of them and all your requirement will be met. All your vitamins, your minerals, everything will be met. You just need to eat a diversity of all these foods. That's all you have to do. Because like I've just said, animals in the forest, they don't ask themselves what they've got in this or that. They just eat. And that's it. That's all they do.
And I hear you. And I just read the other day that actually coconut water, coconut milk is much better for the human body because it's the closest thing to mother's milk. And I never knew that. I never knew that, and because they have now, almond milk, cashew, oat milk, we have all of this. Do you drink coconut water, coconut milk, or you're just water, tea, or do you drink teas and things?
Yes, coconut milk, yes, that's good. That's perfectly fine. Sometimes I would have soya milk or almond milk, yes. But mostly it's water that I take, and it's filtered water because I make sure that the water is filtered because in the water they put fluoride and chlorine. And according to the research that I've done, these two components are linked to cancer. But we've been told that we need fluoride because it's apparently it's enabled people to not have cavities. But the real truth is that if you don't want to have cavities, don't eat the food that produce that. For example, all the refined sugars, you don't have to eat that. And for example, for me, like I've just said, since I starting to went on a plant-based nutrition, I've not had any problem with my teeth anymore, which means that you don't have to, it's the food. Right. You don't have to take fluoride, stuff like that. So I make sure that the water that I drink goes through a filter so that filters out fluoride and chlorine because these two components are linked to cancer.
Yeah. And then you also don't, I have found when I'm really at the optimum of my regime, I also don't smell. I noticed that. You have those aha moments where all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, I haven't smelt myself. Not in, because I'm not trying to be vulgar, friends out there, but we gotta, we're gonna go there for a minute. You really don't, I sweat, but it doesn't have an odor to it. I'm gonna do sweat, but I don't have an odor also. So that happens because you're not taking in, right, meat products and products that would go rancid in your body.
Yeah, exactly. Because what's happened is that when, for example, you eat a piece of fruit, it takes between 3 and 4 hours to pass through our system. If you eat raw vegetables, it takes around 12 hours to pass through our system. You eat cooked vegetables, it takes between 24 and 30 hours to pass through our system. But if you eat meat, fish, or chicken, it takes 72 hours to pass through our system. And when you look, for example, at our internal temperature, it's 36 degrees centigrade. In Fahrenheit, I don't know what it is, maybe 98 or something like that. So it's hot. So for example, if you take a piece of meat and you leave that outside during the summer, when you come back after 3 days, it's going to be rotting and it's going to smell. And when you eat meat, it says for 3 days in our system, and that's why people start smelling bad. Some people even will have bad breath. They can brush their teeth as much as they want, but that odor's not going away because all this rotting stuff are trying to get out. And what I've noticed, just like you said, since I've stopped eating all these animal products, I don't smell anymore. And I don't use any perfume anymore as well. I don't see the need of using that anymore because you don't smell. And even, for example, when I go to the toilet, as soon as I flush the toilet, someone can come after a second. There's no odor.
Right. That's right. Right. Yeah. And so these are incredible things that we have talked about this morning. All of you out there, I want to reintroduce you to my guest this morning and my new BFF, Olivier Mankondo. I hope I pronounced that right. And Olivier has gone through a health journey where he, made a decision like many of us have to make and should make for ourselves, and not have someone else telling us and dictating to us because we're ill. And now we're on this paradigm and trajectory of more pills and this and this and this. And you can do it at any time. Is that right, Olivier? I mean, like, if you're out there and you're 72 or you're 80, you can change your diet, and you can, I'm not going to tell you you're going to live to be 290 something, but it will give you some more time. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. That's what it really saddens me when I see people and I tell them to change their way of eating. They tell me I'm too old. I'm already 80. I'm already 70. I'm 60. It's too old. I just don't have to do that anymore. But it's really, really sad because old age shouldn't be a problem. It's like me when I started this journey, I was 46. I'm 53 now, and my health is getting better and better. So it's never too late to do it. Even if, for example, you are 80 and you change your way of eating, maybe it's going to add you another 10 years. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or so even, for example, the way people live, with all these the chronic diseases that they've got, so maybe they become dependent on people. They've got dementia. They've got all this stuff. But when you start eating the right food, it's going to, even if you are the chronic diseases, which cannot go away, for example, but it's going to make it better. It's going to make it less worse. So when you change your way of eating, it will do something good for you. So there's no age to say that I'm too old. It's going to add you maybe another 10 years, maybe another 15 years. I don't know, but it will do something good for you.
Yes. I got a book for Christmas, and it was a book on, the science of mushrooms. And I'm not talking about psychedelics at the moment. Yeah. Well, that's another show. But that mushrooms are, because there's so many varieties of mushrooms, that they are really delicious for you, cooked and uncooked. So one of the questions I have is cooked versus raw. Raw diet, I've done that where I went on a 40-day fast and I ate nothing but raw foods, and it was tough, because the texture of, I like the different textures of food. And I found it difficult. And then somebody said to me, well, you should have mixed it up. But I was trying, this was when I first decided that I wanted longevity in my life, that I wanted to clear up my skin. I mean, it's amazing what happens to you when the elasticity comes back. You're like, whoa, what happened? I used to have something there, but it's because you're eating yams or, those kinds of things. So talk to us about this idea of cooking it versus eating it raw.
Yeah, definitely eating raw is better. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself is to eat raw, because when you cook food above the temperature of 48 degrees centigrade, the food will start losing all the nutrient, the vitamin and stuff like that. And when you look, you will see that in the entire creation, it's only human beings who cook their food. All the animals, they eat that raw. Yeah. So raw is the best thing. And I wonder what we were eating before we discovered fire. We were eating raw. So raw is better. And for myself, for example, 98% of what I eat is raw. I only eat a little bit of cooked food, which is maybe some fried tofu or some fried plantain bananas, or just things like that. But yeah, mostly what I eat is raw, because I only eat, I have 14 meals in a week, because I eat twice a day, sorry. Okay. I eat twice a day. Okay. And out of these 14 meals, 10 are just fruit and 4 are salad. Okay. And like I said, 2% of what I eat is cooked. But raw is the best, because when you eat raw food, your body will not have to produce lots of enzymes, because in the food that you eat, they already got enzymes. So your body will not have to produce them. And it's very easy for the body to digest raw food. And that's why, for example, your digestive system, your skin, everything will work better. So it's better to eat raw food, definitely.
And how does that happen before we run out of time? Because I love this conversation, and I hope you're writing all this down, you're hitting the share button, and then when it hits wherever out there where you see this, share it, because this is really good stuff. So the other question that I have, and close to the last question, is when you go out, or when you entertain, or when you go to somebody else's house for a shindig, do you bring your own food?
Usually what I do is that, like I said, I only eat twice a day. So usually when I go to my friends, they know that I will not eat, because okay, I eat at 12 noon and at 7. Okay. But if, for example, and I don't have any snacks in between. So, but if I have to eat at my friend's house, they will ask me what I want to eat, or they will ask me, can you eat this? Can you eat that? And I will tell them, yes, this I can eat. So that's usually what's happened. But I don't remember bringing my own food to my friend's house. No.
You know, it's like when you're coming to the party, you have to bring a nice bottle of wine and your you know. Actually, do you drink wine or anything alcoholic, or is that out of the plant-based? I've now seen I've seen vegan wine recently in the wine store. But are you able to drink wine and things of that, or no alcohol?
No, I don't drink any alcohol. No beer, no alcohol, no whiskey, no. The only thing that I drink is water. Sometimes I will have juice fruit, homemade juice fruit, mm-hmm, or sometimes I will have some herbal teas. That's all I have. But wine, alcohol, no, I don't touch these things, no.
Mm-hmm. Before we leave, tell folks about your masterclass.
Yeah, so if people would like to go to my masterclass, because I've got a 16-week one-on-one coaching program where I help primarily women over 30 to lose weight, even if they've been struggling to lose weight for years. So that's what I do. So if they go, I will send you the link so people can click and then can go and watch my masterclass. Okay. Where they will be able to register if they would like to have the opportunity to work with me, where I will be able to help them to lose weight and to reclaim their health. Because my coaching program is not only to lose weight, because you can be slim and being sick. Being slim doesn't necessarily mean that you are healthy. That's what people need to understand.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So help people to lose weight and to become healthy as well.
So it's can you give them the website? I know we'll put it in the link as well, but do they just look you up by your name or go on LinkedIn? How do they find you?
Yeah, if they go on my website, which is oliviermankondo.com, they will be able to see that. They will be able to register to my masterclass, but I will send you the link so you can put that in the show notes, and they will be able to have that. And I would like to as well to give to your viewers or your listeners a free gift as well, which is 7 tips to lose weight. I'll give you the link as well where they can download that for free.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Thank you. For all of you out there in the virtual community of Life is a Sacred Journey, because I know I have family members worldwide, and we're very thankful to Olivier Mankondo for sharing his story, one, and then for really guiding us through thinking. I always say, you don't have to do anything that anybody else is doing, because you don't. But you can take the bits and pieces of the fruits of their labor and learn from it and say, oh, maybe I want to adopt that or look at that, and then try it. And then, oh my gosh, this is working for me. Or, oh my gosh, this isn't working for me, because we're all different. But at the end of the day, there are some basic things. Water. Olivier told us the importance of drinking water, and herbal teas are a great way to do that because it adds flavor as well. And I'm learning how to drink tea without honey. Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's all those things that happen. Your taste buds change. Everything changes. Life is a sacred journey. And you know why? It's a sacred journey because you were created with a restorative body. And when you do well by it, it does well by you. And so I want to thank Olivier Mankondo for coming to Life is a Sacred Journey this morning. You're going to see down wherever Felicia puts it, or maybe here or maybe there. I don't know. You're going to find links to his masterclass. You're going to find a link. Thank you for the gift for 7 ways to weight loss, because we're always looking at that, and I know we're still discussing it, even though it's March. January topic. And then go to his website, see his story. When I saw his story, I kept looking back at the old picture, going, "This ain't the same person," and that's exactly right. He's not the same person. And yeah, he got knocked to his knees health-wise, but then he picked himself up and he did the work. So Olivier Mankondo, thank you so much for joining us on Life is a Sacred Journey this morning. Is there any last jewel of wisdom that you would like to drop for our audience and for our family?
Yes. What I would like to say is that when we are born on this earth, the most important thing that we have is our body. It's our temple, and we've only got one. So we need to make sure that we're in good health. We need to take care of this body, because without good health, there's nothing that we can do. So take care of your body, because we are the master and we've got the power to change whatever we want. That's what I'll finish with.
Yes. Well, stay there for a minute. Friends, I want to thank you for joining me this morning on Life is a Sacred Journey. Every Friday, I wake up going, because I have to get up extra early to be here. But then once I'm here and I know you're there, oh man, my life just gets bubbly and happy. So thank you for coming. Felicia, thank you so much for making me look good and being there for us and give a hug to Forrest. And if you're out there anywhere, feeling sad, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, feeling like you want to take your life, we end the show this way every single week. The suicide hotline is 988 or 1-800-273-8255. Do not do it. You matter. If you just wait one more second, one more minute, and you reach out and talk to somebody, they're going to help you get through this crisis. No, it's not easy. Life sucks sometimes. Yes, it does. But you matter. And all of us at Life is a Sacred Journey love you. So 988-1-800-273-8255. There's great people at the end of the phone, at the end of the text, that will get you through this crisis. The ripple effect of you not being here would affect everything in the whole wide world. Believe that. All right, friends. Have a wonderful weekend. Pet a cat, pet a dog, hug a tree. You know how I feel about hugging trees. Get out there and hug a tree. And if it's raining, open your door and listen to the sound of the rain and bask in it. Because stop looking at things as negative, look at them as gifts, and you'll enjoy your life a lot better because your life is sacred. Peace out.